let it do what it wants to do naturally, all right? We're not gonna try to hit. All right, here we go. Hi everybody, Jim from County Corvette. I have a 57 Chevy Bel-Air Sports Coupe. It's a real black car, a California car, original sheet metal car, except for one door. But this car is just cool. It's been owned by a mechanic. It was a California car all of its life. I can't even call it restored because it was probably such a nice car to start with. It really didn't need a total restoration. But it's been lovingly maintained all of its life. And, you know, just, I don't even know what to say. You know, I restore a lot of cars here, but it's very, very infrequent that you get a car that, you know, was from that type of climate and just maintained such a level of preservation. I'll talk more about that, but we've gone through the car. I actually knew this car before, but it is it's a California car, so it's got that one-piece bumper. It's a power pack car, so it's the higher horsepower 283. It's power steering, power brakes, a Powerglide. It's a powerful car, and these things are just cool. I mean, I've always liked these cars, and they just, you know, remind me of the stories of the 50s, you know, in 57, you know, Elvis, Buddy Holly, Jerry Lee Lewis, Mario Lanza, you know, all these cool, iconic people were just in the prime, you know, in the beginning of their lives, and what a great time. And these cars just, for me, you know, the 57 Chevy just symbolizes that better than really anything. Maybe not better than a 57 Corvette, but these cars are just, they're kind of special. But from a driver standpoint and just a general high level car that you could use, but still a collector car. And I can tell you, you couldn't duplicate it for anything close to that. The interior's like, I don't want to call it perfect because I know somebody's going to come and pick something out, but just at first glance, this thing looks like a new 57 Chevy. You know, I've not had it out yet. I drove it around the building. I can tell you, cold starts perfectly, goes right up to high idle, and it just does everything right so far. But my guys have been through it. Like I said, it was owned by a highly skilled mechanic, and man, he really got this thing dialed in. It doesn't need a damn thing. We did do a high level detail on it, and the paint really came up nice. It's almost too nice to be even called a driver. So I would encourage you to come see it in person, because I can tell you the pictures are going to look great, but it's going to be better in person than it actually looks. So we're going to get this thing out on the road, but generally speaking, I don't usually deal with cars like this, but since I knew the car and the condition of this car, I'm really proud to put our name on it. So let's take this thing out for a cruise. All right, so I'm going to let this thing warm up a little bit. We got it running, it's warm out. I love, love, love the interior of this car. I mean, it is just the coolest. It's just cool. The headliner is perfect. The seats, the door panels, all this stuff. I mean, it's got to have been replaced. I don't know these cars well, but my guess would be these are reproduction parts in here. I do know a lot about, you know, originality, and I can tell you the gauges, that odometer has not been changed. After a certain amount of time, they have a patina to them, a little bit of a yellowing that you can't duplicate. Only time does that. So my only disappointment so far is I think I don't have the antenna up high enough for the radio to work. You know, these are old tube style rigs, and they take a little while to warm up, and they simply won't work if the antenna's not up. But it is starting to pop and crackle a little bit, so we'll see how that works out. But boy, what a comfortable car. You know, steering and brakes in this thing, it feels like a modern car now. It's 1957, so it's old technology, but wow, just a really cool car. It's been a while since I've driven one of these things too, and it's good to be behind the wheel of something like this. It's so historic. I mean, if this car could talk, what would it say? You know, living in California in 1957, and you know, probably another 30 or so plus years. What would, you know, what's the story? If this thing, you know, could talk, it would be pretty amazing to hear. But you know, I don't know. I didn't grow up in that era. I mean, like I said, my parents were children. My mother talks about 1957. She was, I guess, 14. I have to do the math. 42, 40, 44, 13. And she talked about how she would take the bus with her girlfriend from Swarthmore, Pennsylvania to Chester, Pennsylvania. And if you're from this area and you didn't know what that area was like, it's shocking to hear, shocking to the senses, really. It's just a different era. And this car brings you, it's all you can think about when you're inside this car, is that era. Innocent times, man. The world's changed a lot. But that's what's cool about this hobby, is that, you know, there's stuff like this that can, you know, bring you back to that time. Now this car has radials on it. I mean, it's, you know, it's a big old 57 Chevy, so it feels like a 70s truck, honestly. But that's how they feel. I mean, these are not high-speed cruisers, but this one drives nice. It's effortless, I'll say that, and very comfortable. And we're clipping along here, you know, 50 or so miles an hour, and seems pretty happy. But all the power equipment in this car is really simple to drive. Anybody could drive this car. I don't know if anybody could park it, because there's no mirror on that side, and you better be a reasonably experienced driver to try to parallel park this bad boy. But other than that, it's a simple car to drive. But I'm mesmerized by the integrity of this interior. It's just really cool. And you know, this car has been really well loved. I can just see it. And there's no possible, conceivable, theoretical way you could duplicate this car for less than $150,000 if you were to restore it yourself. If you could even find a good one. I would have to imagine they're far and few between. And anything that remains out there as a restoration project is probably not even worth your time to look at. Not when you can buy a turnkey car like this. And you know, I'm used to Corvettes where, you know, the values are just up there. And when I see it, you know, I know what it takes to restore a car. I mean, just this interior, it boggles my mind that this car could be priced under 50, you know, I'm not going to say under 50, it's $50,000, $49,900 is the asking price. But there again, to get a car to this level, you're just talking about a lot of money. And why when you could just, you know, write a check for this thing and turn the key and go. And like I said, I think there's even some, you know, reasonable collectability to this car just because of its options and condition. So fun stuff. But time's been good to this car. This car has been just loved all of its life. And you know, I don't know, if you went to the website and you clicked on this car and you have an interest in it, buy the car, because there's not another one out there in this condition. I don't think. I see a lot of cars, and this thing is really a sweetheart. And this thing's cool. You know, it's but you've got to, like, you know, you've got to want this type of car. But if that's what you're looking for, man, I would jump on it. All right, so I'm going to run this thing up, but there's no tack in it, so I'm just going to let it do what it wants to do. Hey, easy there, cowboy. I'll let it do what it wants to do naturally, all right? We're not going to try to hit. All right, here we go. All right, that's floored, so it you know, it didn't pin me back to the seat, or, you know, I'll say it's smooth as silk. So This thing's got highway gears in it. I can tell you that. You know, it feels like a 308 or something in that range. I'm pretty satisfied with the way this thing runs. It didn't miss a beat, nice and smooth. But it's a highway geared car, so it's not a 411 in this thing. So it's not a tire burner if that's what you're looking for. You know, keep looking. But good cruiser. You could probably fit 6-7 people in this thing comfortably. So that could be fun. That's one thing about these old classics is you can pack a lot of people in them. And you know, when I was a kid, when Mom would pick you up, she'd pick everybody up, and you know, we'd pack six kids in the car, safety notwithstanding. And that's just the way we rolled back in the day. So I wouldn't advocate that now. I mean, I'm all about safety, but you know, this stuff's all about memories. And I remember a lot of kids in the back of a Vista Cruiser. A lot. I mean, talking 8, 9, 10, and that was normal back then. So you'd definitely get 4 kids in the back seat. I think there's only 2 seat belts back there, but if that's your thing, you know, probably not why you're buying a car like this. But this is this car feels good, and you know, I think mechanically there's yeah, it's a hard act to follow out there, and like I said, if you're in the market for one of these things and you've clicked on the site, take a good look at it. The odometer works as it should. It's showing 578 miles, so I don't know what the original mileage is. I don't know. You know, I just don't know. But it looks and feels like a 578 mile car, every bit. But you know, it's that clock's probably been either wound to 0 or you know, went around once. But all the gauges work, and this stuff is all in beautiful shape, so it's cool. All right, well, thanks for watching my video. It was a lot of fun driving this thing. Just a cool car, and let us know if you have an interest in it, and we'll make something happen for you. All right, thanks for watching, and please subscribe.